Got a question on what are the biggest aspects of being a successful pitcher in high school, and same question for being a successful pitcher in college. So I'll be completely honest, your boy didn't go to college. Now, I know and heard stories and watched a little bit of college baseball, but I will say I do believe that the game of college baseball is drastically different than what I am kind of used to. But I believe when we're talking about success and performance, it's kind of all the same in my opinion. So high school, obviously a step lower. Biggest aspects of being a successful pitcher in high school is, I would say, what are you quantifying as, like, how do you quantify success, okay, in high school? Do you quantify success just like how any baseball performance would quantify success in terms of like getting outs, strikeouts, low walks, first pitch strikes, quick outs, blah, blah, blah? Or are you quantifying success by like, that guy can go to the next level? Because those are not really one and the same, you know what I mean? So like if you're quantifying success as a pitcher in high school by what can I do on the field and what can I do in my performance to make sure that I'm putting myself in a position to get drafted or putting myself in a position to go D1, those are a little bit different as well. But in terms of like being drafted, obviously it's stuff. Like you quantify success by having stuff, right? High velo. Nowadays, it's probably a lot of pitch data, pitch metric stuff like that. But I think with that is going to come baseball success as well. But I will say the stuff in high school, man, is going to trump the actual success. Like I've seen plenty of dudes that have gotten absolutely paid out of high school in the draft because they had profilings, they had stuff that profiled, meaning like, that's projectable, we can train, or we can work with him since he's gonna be 18 for 4 years on X, Y, and Z that he doesn't do well. Say he walks freaking one or two guys an inning. We can train that, but we can't train the stuff. Like the stuff is God-given. Like we gotta get that. Now we, blah, blah, blah. Might be a little outdated approach, but who knows? But yeah, that's a huge piece to it as well. It's like, what are you quantifying success? Or how do you quantify success in high school? Now, if you do in terms of like the actual performance, wins, losses, ERA, whip, walks, Ks per nine, like all these things, I think honestly it's consistency in the strike zone, the ability to throw your off speeds for a strike and a ball. Meaning like, can you get, now this might be a little too complex for high school, but in high school, I'd say like 2 pitches, 3 pitches is great, three average pitches, but you have 2 pitches to command. And when I say command, it's not just throw 2 pitches for strikes in the strike zone, right? All 9 quadrants. All 9 little holes. I'm thinking of the 9 pocket, but all 3 quadrants. Then I said 3 quadrants. What am I thinking? It's 4 quadrants. Holy smokes. I got that 9 pocket thing stuck in my head and I'm looking at like, anyways. But yeah, high school pitchers, if you have the ability to throw 2 pitches where not necessarily wherever you want, but just 2 pitches that you can go in the strike zone and get outs. It's Puerto Rico, people honk all the time. In the strike zone, get outs, and then have the ability to go out of the strike zone, basically expand with 2 pitches, right? So breaking ball for a strike in the strike zone early in counts, breaking ball that looks like a strike and then ends up as a ball, swing and miss. And then fastball, same thing. Can your fastball, be in the strike zone, and then be out of the strike zone, expand when you need to, right? So that's a huge, huge aspect too. I would say it's similar for college, to be honest. Like again, how are you quantifying success? College is going to be more about consistency and actual like pitch execution, right? I think college hitters, from what I've heard, are going to be a lot more disciplined, patient. They know their role. They're going to be grinding at bats. It's a lot of team orientated. They're going to try to win. There's not a lot of selfish motive in those teams, in those lineups. So as a pitcher, can I pound the strike zone early, often? Can I expand when I need to? Can I throw 3 pitches for strikes? Can I throw 3 pitches for pitches that look like strikes, end up balls, look like balls, end up strikes? Can I have good tempo? Can I have good pace? Can I get my fielders, can I have them be engaged, early outs, quick outs, stay ahead of counts, expand. And another piece, like I would say in high school, you know, we don't really, like, we're not being super intentional with identifying like what our strengths are and what our weaknesses are, and then kind of doing or planning our game plan accordingly. But I do believe that when you get to college, like that's a huge piece, is like identify what you do well, what you don't do well, stick to your strengths, work on your weaknesses, train hard, and like try to bridge that gap. But yeah, man, it's consistency. At the end of the day, the name of the game is consistency, right? Like, especially in college, like I said, when you're trying to win and it's rah team, we got to go to the freaking College World Series and we got to win every single game matters, then it's about consistency, because that second that you're not consistent is the second that you're unreliable, and the second you're unreliable, then you got to essentially work your way out of the doghouse. So you can also quantify success by how can I get myself on the playing field as well? You know what I mean? So hopefully that made sense. But I think a big jump from high school to college is like that identification thing, right? Like, okay, well, for me in high school, I was profiling to get drafted. I obviously committed, but it was like, all right, what can I do in these games to put myself in a better position to get drafted first round, right? Like I wanted to go first round, I wanted to go top 25 picks. So I was like, all right, what am I doing here to make myself better equipped to reach that goal? And it was, how hard can I throw? How many strikes can I throw? How much damage can I do in the strike zone? Meaning like, can my stuff get hitters out in the strike zone, even in like heat zones, right? That's a portrayal of stuff, right? And then how many swing and misses can I induce? Because that's another portrayal of stuff, swing and miss percentage, right? So it really does, to answer this question, it really does all depend on how you quantify success. So hopefully I touched on some things there that can make sense. So, dope.